Oh, folks, welcome back to whatever the hell this is. Call of Cthulhu. I guess we're on chapter 6. That's right, we just did the escape. Not that anybody's watching this, but that's okay. I don't care. It's been a busy couple weeks. We had, I picked up Metal Wolf Chaos. I got back into Payday 2. Playing a lot of Payday 2. Wasteland 3 Alpha dropped. So it's been kind of busy, but let's get back into Call of Cthulhu. Once it loads. That's right. We escaped the asylum, passed out because we're a fainting goat, and now we're waking back up in the mansion. So here we go. Could have a creepy ass dream though. With lots of tentacles, because, you know.
Who goes there? That nightmare again.
Nobody, Pierce. Nobody goes anywhere. Alright, you're gonna... Forgive me, my mouse is gonna be whipping around a little bit at first. I just got done doing some Metal Wolf Chaos, and its frame rate is capped at 30. So I'm used to kind of whipping the mouse around to get him to turn an inch. And hey, look at that. Bradley's looking not dead. Oh, wait a minute. I like the weathering on this. You get that kind of bubbling like a painting does. That's a nice touch. It's a little much. It should probably not be... I mean, it's just a filter that's been put over the picture. But, yeah, that's a nice touch. I don't care what anybody says. I kind of like this game.
Mr. Pierce, how do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
Man, long enough for him to come back to life.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
I don't have enough of that. Let's talk to Bradley. Oh, I can't do that.
I found a Darkwater PD badge. Lost a colleague recently?
What the...
Bradley.
Ethan?
I'm alright, I just had a... It's gone.
You're sure?
If it's important, it'll come back. But I can't explain why Dr. Fuller would have that badge.
Because he's
Man's a
evil.
danger, believe me.
What can we do, Pierce?
Let's do this.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
Dun, dun,
I
dun.
have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
It seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
What do you remember,
The
you
night
idiot?
we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
the rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at
And
the hospital
then?
and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel.
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
My cord is tangled. Not enough medicine.
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
Okay. Talk to... Oh, yeah, I can talk to you.
I found this at the Hawkins house. The doses seem insane.
Barbiturates. But these doses...
What do you mean?
Half the island is under treatment. What is prescribed here, however, is enough to knock out an ox.
Fuller wrote this prescription to fool everyone into believing she was mad.
Or perhaps her husband wrote it.
Perhaps Charles and Dr. Fuller were in league.
Perhaps.
Conspiracy. How dreadful.
Well, you're not much help. Alright, let's do this.
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes. I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
He looks like a Nazi war criminal.
And I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island
In
families
Fair
are-
Verona, our
Captain
story is
Fitzroy's
set.
father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yeah.
Yes. And as
Welcome
you
to
can
the
tell,
world, dude.
Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him.
You
Do
should.
you wish to know anything else?
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful
Just
family
kind of
like the
flopping your
Hawkins
arms around.
had the means to hide such a disgrace.
I mentioned in
Everyone knows
the
the Fullers have been taking
Wasteland
care of the
3
Hawkins for at least
alpha
a generation. And all
that
we're
the
aware of
animations
is Hawkins'
looked
fertility.
custom because not everybody was
Perhaps,
animated
but
all
no
the
one would
time.
allow a psychiatric
This is more of
internment.
the kind of just
From what I read
generic.
in the file, Fuller used
They don't want
her
him
as the
sitting
subject of his experiments.
completely static, so
Francis Sanders and Sarah
she just
Hawkins,
has the
subjects
same
of Dr. Fuller.
loop with her
Why those
hands.
two?
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller and a nurse. Blood everywhere. My legs. The pain. I couldn't bear it. I was screaming. They injected me with something.
Deadly
I woke up at
poison.
the Institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients at the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
Bradley looks distraught. I guess nothing else. Just can't do that.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since
are you
Dr.
doing,
Fuller
Bradley?
had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain.
It was ripped
Tell
apart
me
by a
how
dimensional
Mr. Sanders
shambler.
died.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here?
Probably.
This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis
But it's the
Sanders was
coinky-dink.
a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
He's right. We can't ignore the truth.
But it could drive her mad.
Better madness than ignorance.
Yeah, it
Very
sort
well.
of affects my destiny.
I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Okay. I believe there's a achievement for being a real jerk to the widow. Yeah, let's talk to you.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
Aye, but your dialogue is clunky. Hey,
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
okay. Well, let's see, what did we get? Oh, I have 4 character points available. Let's jack up investigation. That'll be useful later. Sanity is getting kind of low. What do we got? We got, okay, the ritual. We got that. I tried to avoid that, but it wouldn't let me. And that. I forgot to dart away from that. Okay, dark water. No, not you. And that's Charles Hawkins. That's Marie. That's poor Francis. I mean, look at this guy. He looks like a comic book villain. He looks like Dr. Mindbender from G.I. Joe. Mansion, tunnels, yeah, whatever. What do we got here? Okay. I got some chapter 5 clues. Where did we find that? No, it doesn't say where. Okay. And, oh yeah, I got my hurricane lamp. Alright, good deal. Oh. Nope, we're not drinking. I don't think there's anything else in here to find. Let's double check. Yeah, I don't want to leave. That's where we woke up. Let's go back down. Do, 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 do. Yeah, okay. Same either way. So now we're going on to... We're still in Chapter 6. We're going on to the next part. We're going to be... Alright, so it looks like we're going to look around, talk to Miss Sanders, and then that'll be the end of the video, and the next video will start with the second most annoying part of the game. So won't that be fun to look forward to? But on the plus side, I think I should be able to do it okay. I think I remember how it works. It's actually a lot less finicky than the escape.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders? I'm a private detective. us talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here.
Hi, Cat.
You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
Oh, yeah. That's not a good painting.
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings.
Bitter much?
Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned.
Because the guy...
You,
Oh,
on
no,
the
he
other
died
hand,
just
a
a
perfect
nice
stranger.
That's right.
We're able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
An extra-dimensional being ate him.
I expected to find you more grief-stricken than this by the death of your husband.
I do not like the tone of your allusion, sir. I had long months to weep every tear in my body, and to accept, if not my fate, at least that of my husband. And so I'm sorry to disappoint you if you're expecting more hysteria and grieving widow in my voice. Rest assured, however, my anger is real. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right
That'd be
before
reputable.
your eyes. Did you not do anything to help him?
We can really twist the knife. But I always feel bad doing this, even to, video game characters that aren't
With
real.
all due respect, Mrs. Sanders, it was you who sent him to this asylum, not me.
How dare you? What was I supposed to do, Detective? Upon seeing such a brilliant mind disintegrate in this way, waking with a start every night with him shrieking in horror, petrified before this accursed painting, unable to look away, until he managed to gouge his eyes out with his own hands. I should have listened to Dr. Fuller, let him intern him months ago. If I am to be condemned, it is because I did not act sooner.
I'm not here to condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
I'd rather
It
not.
is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
I don't know if that was good enough or not. Gained a character point. I think that's the last one I needed. Yeah. There we go. Investigation's maxed. So now I can pick locks with impunity.
Did she really care for him after all?
Nobody.
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
She doesn't look too happy. He looks... Whoa!
A house of artists.
Really? That's all you got for that?
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
I don't want to examine the Shambler.
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
Considering he has eyes there.
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom?
Let's look at the body language. She looks kind of She looks just ugh.
Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins?
No. No, this is the look of a long-suffering woman. Like, oh, what did my husband do now? There we go.
She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel?
No.
The Shambler. I need to see it.
No, you don't. Oh, hey. Madison. Alright, what else do we got around here? Nothing there. Not my sleeve. Oh, did they put that wash on? I think they put that filter on basically every painting. Yeah, you don't want to talk. Phonograph.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Yoink.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it.
Is that it?
Behind my eyelids.
Oh.
Each time I shut my eyes.
Oops. I don't think we missed much. Is that it?
I can't take anymore. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
Francis, I should never let them take you away. What have I done? Everything is my fault.
No. Yeah, I already listened to that. Alright, let's poke around a little bit more.
A strange Amerindian pendant.
Probably a talisman. Oh, hey,
I
look,
could use one of those.
found more sleeping pills.
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing. An old diary.
Alright, yeah, the lost. That's a good key to have.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network, and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
Tentacles? Oh, no. Don't read the book. Okay, this is a occult book. Reading it will raise your... Oddly enough, it will raise your occult skill, but it will cost you sanity. So, I'm not going to read it. That I will read. More medicine is always good. Alright, we've got a little bit more exploring in the house to do. I can't get in there. That's locked. That's locked. Apparently I don't want to pick locks in our house. Which I suppose is only polite. Like a Picasso almost. Okay, can't do anything there. I keep trying to do close encounters, but I can't. Bum 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 bum. Okay, we seem to have run out of house. I feel like there should be something to this piano. But I don't recall any sheet music anywhere. But that doesn't necessarily mean... Aha!
Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it?
It's okay. Oh. Yeah, raising occultism is dangerous. But I don't think I lost... If I lost sanity, it wasn't much. That is basically just a clue. For this. Yeah, so here we are.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
So we got that little guy, and that guy. And that guy. And that. I'm noticing a lot of knives. There's a shambler. And that. That. And that. many knives. So many knives. Yep. And lamp oil. So here we are in the gallery. So, this is where we're going to cut it. I'm a tease, I know. But next time we will pick up with this gallery. Hold on to your butts, folks. But until then, have a good one.